Have you ever dreamed of studying in Canada, but the massive upfront cost just felt impossible? Well, what if there was a different way? Today, we're diving into a financial model that's trying to change the game, one that flips the script and lets you study now, pay later.
I mean, seriously, just think about that question for a second. What if your future wasn't totally dictated by what's in your bank account right now? It almost sounds a little too good to be true, right? But for some students, it's actually happening. So the real question is, how?
So, before we get into the solution, we've got to talk about the problem. Every single year, thousands of incredibly smart, qualified students have this amazing dream of studying abroad, but they hit this giant wall, and almost always that wall is made of money. This really lays out the whole conflict perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the dream, that world-class Canadian degree, all these global opportunities, and a real shot at a great career. But on the other side, you've got this huge barrier. We're talking years of savings, totally prohibitive upfront costs. It ends up creating this financial exclusion that just locks so many people out.
So, how in the world do you get from that dream over that barrier? Well, this is where a totally different way of thinking about financing comes into play. It's a model that basically builds a bridge right over the problem, the study now, pay later model.
All right, let's be super clear about what this actually is. Study Now, Pay Later, or SNPL, it's not a scholarship, it's not a grant. It is a structured financing model. The idea at its core is really simple. You get the funding you need to actually get in the door and finish your degree, and then you pay it back, bit by bit, once you've graduated and actually started earning.
The whole process really boils down into 4 pretty straightforward steps. First, you do your part. You focus on getting accepted into a great program. That's on you. Then you can access the funding. Step 3, you actually get to complete your studies without that constant, crushing financial stress. And finally, once you're on your feet, professionally, that's when you start the repayment process.
Okay, this is the part where the details really matter. I mean, a great idea is one thing, but how does the money actually work? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of this whole model. So let's just put the big number out there right away. Through the programs we're looking at, eligible students can get access to as much as 65,000 Canadian dollars. And this isn't just a little extra cash. This is a serious amount of money designed to cover the very real costs of studying in another country.
And here's what's so important. This funding is comprehensive. It's built to cover not only your full tuition fees, but also your living expenses. And that is key because it means you don't have to stress about proving you have tens of thousands of dollars just sitting in a bank account to get your visa approved. It's a game changer.
So what about paying it all back? That's the big question, right? Well, the repayment is structured over a pretty realistic time frame. We're talking 4 to 7 years. So this isn't some short-term crunch. It's designed to give you some breathing room to graduate, land a good job, and really get your career going before the full weight of repayment kicks in.
You might be thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but why Canada specifically? And that's a great question. The answer really is all about the country's amazingly supportive environment for international graduates. See, the financing is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle.
This table basically maps out the whole journey. While you're a student, your permit lets you work. After you graduate, you can get what's called a post-graduation work permit, the PGWP, which is your golden ticket to live and work legally in Canada. It creates this really smooth transition from being a student to becoming a working professional, setting you up to build a real future there.
And that's really the main point here. The whole system, from the loan itself to the work permits, it's all designed with one long-term goal in mind. It's not just about getting you into the country, it's about setting you up for actual success. And that includes help to land a great job after you graduate.
All right, now, we have to have a really honest conversation here. It's so easy to get excited about all this, but it is absolutely essential that you understand the realities and, the responsibilities that come with it. Let's call this the reality check. I want to just pause on this for a second because this is probably the most important thing you'll hear today. This is not a free ride. It's a loan. It's an incredible tool, an amazing opportunity for sure, but it is a serious financial commitment and it has to be treated that way.
And you have to know, approval is not guaranteed, not by a long shot. It's a selective process, and it really depends on your academic history and the specific program you're applying for. So if you ever hear someone promising you guaranteed approval with no requirements, run. That's just not how this works.
The whole application process for both the school and this kind of financing, it's complex. And you have to be warned, even a tiny mistake, like picking the wrong course or having an incomplete application, can literally cost you everything.
Getting the right guidance and planning carefully is absolutely critical.
So after breaking all of this down, we're kind of left with this one big thought. It's definitely a demanding path, there's no doubt about it. But when it works, could this study now, pay later idea be more than just an option for a few people? Could it actually fundamentally change who gets access to a global education? It's definitely something to think about.